Welcome back. We're here to preview Saturday's Premier League match between Watford and West Ham. Might as well start with the visitors this time, up in third in the table after that 2-1 win over Chelsea.
Another fantastic win for them. They keep shocking everyone with these results. Obviously, we know about Chelsea's struggles this season, and West Ham, it's probably the best time they could have played Chelsea in the last, certainly under Mourinho's tenure. So they would have gone into that match confident of getting the win, but the fact that they've done it at home, beating one of the big boys at home, I think is an important factor, because we know what they've done away from home. They've been fantastic on the road so far this season, beating the likes of Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool already. But to beat the champions at home, fantastic result for them. Obviously, Zavarte got the goal, and they were helped by the red card from the Nemanja Matic. Chelsea had to play the whole second half with 10 men, and obviously Chelsea's meltdown didn't help them either. The Mourinho and his assistant both getting sent from the touchlines. 7 yellow cards for Chelsea. They lost their heads a bit. West Ham kept theirs, and finally they changed their tactics when Carroll came on. They've got a lot more options now. Got the ball wider, put it in the box, and Carroll with a fantastic header beat his man in the air. You could see what that goal meant to him in celebration. So long on the touchlines to get that goal, a winner against the champions. Fantastic moment for him. Came after an impressive away win at Crystal Palace as well. So 2 really impressive and good victories in a row, and they deserve to be so high on the table at the moment.
Absolutely, yeah, that's 4 unbeaten now, like you said, the back-to-back wins there, and third in the table, only 2 points behind Arsenal and City at the top there, level on points with Man U. Such a great start, and Slaven Bilic, he has had no problems acting to life in the Premier League, has he? And you mentioned the away form. They've got the best away record in the league, 13 points out of 15 on the road, and the only points they did drop was away at Sunderland, which is a game you would have expected them to win. So they've just been absolutely fantastic away from home. They've scored at least 2 in every game. I think they've got 2 in 2 of them and 3 in 2 of the others. So they're scoring goals away from home, no fear at all. Payet's been the star man for them, but they've got options elsewhere. He got another assist last weekend. He just keeps getting involved in the goals, and certainly if they're going to keep picking up points like this on the road, and if they're beating teams like Chelsea at home, then you'd certainly say that the way things are going at the moment, the way all their players are playing, they could get hurt by injuries, but the way they're going at the moment, you have to fancy them to be in line for maybe a top 6 finish. The way they're going, it's hard to argue against them the way they're playing. All their players really doing well, and it's just hard. I can't really see them finishing outside the top 8, to be honest. They'd have to have a real, they kind of did it last season where they fell away in the second half of the season, but I think this season, the way they're a bit more expansive this season under Bilic, a lot more goals. So for them to really drop off and fall away from the top sort of 7-8 places like they have, it would be a big surprise.
You mentioned injuries there. I think it's only going to get better for them in the next couple of weeks, unless obviously they pick up a few injuries. But they've got the likes of Reed and Song, should be back relatively soon, and you can only think that's going to improve their team. Song, a really good base in the centre of midfield, and Reed at centre back, we know his qualities. He's been coveted by some of the biggest clubs in the league over the last couple of seasons, so that's going to help. And Moses returns for this one. He was out against Chelsea against his parent club, so things are looking even better for West Ham going forward. 22 goals all season. Only Man City have got more than that, so they've got so many goals in the team to hurt any side in the league. You mentioned Payet there. I've been such a big fan of his play so far. He's been a fantastic addition. You wonder why some of the other teams didn't snap him up, some of the traditionally bigger teams, because his stats over the last few seasons, the chances he's created in Europe's top leagues against all the other players, even the likes of Messi and Xavi and Iniesta, the likes of them, fantastic stats he's got in that respect. So you wonder why someone else didn't come in, but West Ham got him, and they're reaping the benefits right now because him and the rest of the team are performing so well, and Bilic has got them playing very well as well.
I certainly think if Payet keeps going the way he's going, you think maybe there might be interest in January, and that's what West Ham might be a bit worried about. If he keeps adding assists, goals every week, West Ham, I know they only signed him in the summer, but if someone comes in from a big load of money, it might be quite hard to resist, and he's been in such good form. Another player been in really good form is Watford's Odion Ighalo. He was key again last week as Watford. It was a good win for them. They went to Stoke 1-2-0 there. Ighalo set up both goals, and I think for them to beat Stoke, it was really, really impressive on the road. Stoke traditionally pretty good at Britannia Stadium. They'd won 4 in a row going into that game as well, so I think Stoke would have been confident. Watford, they were 3 games without a win, so everything pointed to a Stoke win, to 0, the way Watford have been struggling to score goals this season. But Watford played much better. Troy Deeney opening his account, first goal in the Premier League, massive for him. And then Alman Abdi as well, who scored a lot of goals in the Championship last season. He sealed the win with that great finish at the near post after I think Ighalo had won it back on the left-hand side. So a really, really impressive win for Watford, up to 13th. Just gives them that bit of breathing space above the bottom 3, and really impressive.
Yeah, they were helped by some poor Stoke play. I think it was such a terrible performance from them. There was one spell in the second half where they just gave the ball away in their own half so many times in a row. It's a terrible performance from Stoke, you have to say, but Watford took full advantage, and as you mentioned, a very impressive win. Deeney's goal, it's going to be a huge weight off his shoulders, because we mentioned it a few weeks in a row. We mentioned it last week that people were backing him to score goals. He's been in such good scoring form in the Championship over the past few seasons. I thought he'd suit the Premier League quite well. He's quite strong player. He's got a bit of pace about him, and he knows where the goal is. So to finally get that goal off his back, it's going to be a big weight off his shoulders. 10th attempt. Igalo, as you mentioned, 2 assists to add to the goals he's already got this season. The big problem they've had is doing it at home in front of their own fans. They've only scored once all season in the 1-0 win against Swansea, which is a surprising statistic, really. We know that they haven't scored many goals overall, but to have only got one at home all season by the time you're in October, nearly November, it's a shocking statistic, really. They need to improve that.
Yeah, and if you look at the recent head-to-head between these two, Watford have won just one of the last 22 league games against West Ham, losing 17 of those. West Ham haven't lost at Vicarage Road for 30 years, winning 8 of 11 there. So, both sides had a win last weekend, but West Ham probably be more confident, and the sort of head-to-head record points to them winning. Which way do you see it going?
Yeah, everything does point to a West Ham win. I think it's quite interesting the way West Ham, they've beaten the big teams but struggled a bit more against the smaller teams. I think their style of play is suited to the opposition having more possession. They might expect more possession than Watford in this game, but at the same time they're in such good form and they'll fancy the chance against any side, particularly away from home at the moment. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 West Ham win.
2-1. I see a 1-goal margin as well, but Watford's games, they lost 3-0 to Arsenal in their last one at Vicarage Road, but Watford's games at home, they've been really tight, not many goals, so I see West Ham just nicking it 1-0. So both going for West Ham to win this one. Thanks for joining us.